citizens. Welcome, everyone, to the November 16th, 2023 Board of Health meeting at 6 o'clock. Roll call?
Dan Grabowski?
Yes.
Gus Steves?
Here.
Kevin Spleen?
Here.
Jasmine Quinones?
Excused.
Thank you. Nick Dado?
Here.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 3, accept minutes for October 19th, 2023.
Do we have them?
I thought they were emailed us.
Okay, I read them in email, I didn't know if we get them pronounced.
Did you want to review them?
I read them already. Motion?
Second.
Roll call. Dan Grabowski?
Yes.
Kevin Spleen?
Yes.
Nick Dado?
Yes.
Gus Steves?
Yep.
Motion passes.
Agenda item number 4, Citizens Forum. Are there any citizens in the audience that would like to address the Board of Health?
Okay. Yes, I'm here for the Elm Street Congregational Church.
Okay, you're in a minute.
You're at
You're on the agenda.
6:05.
6:05.
What?
6:05, you're gonna wait till 6:05.
It's a technicality, unfortunately.
Yes.
Watch out, you're gonna get whooped.
Seeing none. Agenda item number 5, blight update. A, Cross Street.
Okay, so with Cross Street, Attorney Caprera is doing an assessment of the file. We have the November 30th deadline. That's the abatement of nuisance, the correction order that was issued by the Health Department to the town. I do have copies for your reviews. One is, the top is Cross Street, and below that is South Street. Okay? So we are awaiting compliance.
Motion. I have a question.
Go ahead, Kevin.
What's the reason why we have Caprera checking into that property?
Well, one of the issues that I know of is the actual ownership, the line of ownership, which runs through the entire building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and where that is exactly placed, that is of concern,
Right.
specifically with the demolition process, how it may affect. So that is, I think that is predominantly the concern
Okay.
Yeah.
that is identified. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that guy's garage or whatever it is attached to our building, which makes no sense at all.
If I may continue, Mr.
Yeah,
Chair?
go ahead.
Do we have the proper bidding done as far as taking care of that property? All the bids are in, we can secure a contractor to do the work?
We have some bids, okay, which came in even previous to Attorney Caprera doing his work, the assessment. I believe those will remain valid. But again, just to reiterate, we are waiting for that assessment to be completed. So that's where we lie.
So
Health
has
Department.
Mr. Caprera, has he been informed of this order of conditions
Yes.
with a deadline?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Blight update B, 20 Brick Row.
Again, Attorney Caprera is handling the legal aspects, reviewing the case file. The last that I know of the avenue to take is to move to have the town take ownership, foreclosure of a tax lien with that property.
So
So-
have you talked to the treasurer's office about that?
That is something that Attorney Caprera will be handling with the town manager.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Mr. Chair, through you, I wish the town manager was here, but I don't know if Dan can answer it or not. But Brick Row has been on the agenda all the way back to January of '22. We're approaching 2 years, and it just seems to be excuse after excuse after excuse. The file is this big. This guy's looked at it, this guy's looked at it, everybody's looked at that file. So the condition of that building is horrendous now. It's gotten worse.
Agreed.
The roof is coming down. The
Agreed.
safety of that building, so, correct me if I'm wrong, the town does have a building commissioner, correct?
Yes.
So why haven't we taken that building down and take it hot? We have a building commissioner, we hired him, let him do his job and let him take it down. I guarantee you that building he can have down in 3 weeks. We keep stalling and stalling and stalling. I'm ready to make a motion to give the town manager another order of conditions on that building and have it down immediately. It is a serious threat to the kids that play in that neighborhood.
Agreed. Agreed.
I have one question. The only reason why this is being prolonged is because the town doesn't own it? Is that the only reason?
Well,
Well,
there's
somebody owns it, right? Isn't someone concerned about that house? Do we know who these people are? Did they walk away or?
the belief is that they have walked away. They have not showed any movement to fix the property or address the concerns, legal concerns. That has been ongoing, what I understand, for years.
Yeah.
So that issue does remain, okay? Again, just to reiterate, it is in the hands with Attorney Capera and the town manager.
So we can't find these people, or, I mean, if they walked away, they have no
Well-
interest in it, so we can just say, listen, we'll sign it over, I mean, we have no interest in it, we don't feel, we're not gonna do anything to the property.
Well, there's certain motions that the attorney can issue through housing court. But in a discussion with him, feels that taking this route of having the town assume ownership through a foreclosure of the lien is the most suitable at this point. And that's really what I have to go by, is his professional legal opinion.
I understand. Yeah, Kevin?
Mr. Chair, I would, through you, you know, I agree with Kevin's concerns. I think if the town is to take ownership, we should give the town not a great degree of time, but maybe 30 days after taking ownership of the property, if in the event that occurs, to do something about the current state of it.
But the question I
How
was
long
gonna
will that
ask
take?
is how long is it gonna take the town to take ownership? So, if I am mistaken, we can take that as it being a safety hazard, we can take that down hot, whether or not, if we own it or not, correct? I forget what the terminology is, but
With the building inspector.
Yeah,
In
through
building department.
our building department, and that's why I say the town needs to get our building commissioner involved in this. He's the one who has the authority to take it hot and take it tomorrow. If he deems it that unsafe and that much of a hazard, he could take it tomorrow on emergency and take it hot.
So maybe the order of correction of violations, given that the town doesn't own it, isn't the correct route. Maybe sending an inquiry to the town manager from the board
Right, to have him,
as to why, an inquiry as to why action hasn't been taken by the building.
Because-
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not, you know, all due respect to the TM,
Yeah.
but it just seems like this just keeps getting back burner, and that roof is caved in already. I don't know if you've done it.
I have been there several times, and I totally agree with you with the
So there's-
imminent health risk.
There is a way
that is
that
present.
our commissioner can do it,
Yeah.
and I know as this board, we don't have the authority to go that route, but I believe we should have some sort of authority through the town manager's office to get it taken down, where he could maybe instruct our commissioner and get him involved and deem it the condition that it is, take it down immediately, hotly. And I know hot's, you know, we don't know as far as asbestos in there, but
It can be done.
it
yes,
can be done. I mean,
And it has been
it's
done,
not a
yes, I
large
understand.
building,
Right.
so I don't know what the avenue we take is to try to get the town manager's office to go to the commissioner and get him involved. You know, me personally, I'd like to see that building down in the next 2 weeks, because someone's gonna get hurt. There's a lot of kids in that
Do we
neighborhood.
want to request their presence at an emergency meeting on that subject?
I may speak.
The town manager.
The manager is presently working on that matter, as of today even. I believe the council chair is involved or is aware of what's happening too. And a big part of the problem is because we don't own the property. So there's a process to make sure we do it the right way. And taking it in tax titles and stuff like that is a treasurer's job. We don't have a treasurer coming on until the first of the year. There's a lot of properties, but I can tell you on that particular property, they're working as of even today. I would say, like you've been suggested, ask the manager to come here, give an update. If you want to have an emergency meeting dealing with that in 2 weeks, or regular, it's up to you, but I would, they're working on it.
I got a question.
If I can
You
continue.
go ahead.
Council, I agree. And I know the town manager and others are working on this. And I disagree with waiting out the process of taking in tax, taking in title. Like I said, this has been going on 2 years we've been dealing with, trying to find the owners. This one doesn't want it, that one doesn't want it. There is a way we can take it immediately for the threat that it has, where we can, and I don't wanna use the word bypass the process as far as taking it for taxes, because of the immediate danger that it has to that neighborhood with those kids. We can take it immediately through our commissioner, to take it down, and then worry about.
That's why I say is go the route that you suggested, having the town manager come and having a special meeting if you need it just for that particular item. I would at least give him the opportunity to see where the town is at this. There's more than just going there and doing it. There's just more than that, so.
Because that, saying what, just to add on to what Kevin's saying, it has to come to a point where something is so unsafe, where we have to come in, or we could come in. Would eminent domain be a non-legal term? I mean, would something where you could just.
These are legal questions that
Because
should
of
be
the safe.
presented to
so
Attorney
we
Caprera.
would have to, have
Again,
a-
he's on the case, and
basically, some's on it.
as the council
As
pointed out,
Mr. Shea
it's
just
in the
said, so in
process.
other words, this is not going, it's not going to, it's not being pushed aside. It was what Mr. Shea is saying.
No,
Definitely not.
And I understand that, and I know the TM's working on it, but what I don't wanna see is what's been happening in the past 2 years.
Right.
It gets worked on, it gets dropped, gets worked on, it gets dropped, and
I agree, I
Yes.
just would say that my discussions with the town manager, Attorney Caprera, they echo the same sentiment. You know, they're concerned about this, rightfully so. It's just following the process, following due diligence. And unfortunately, we are lacking a town treasurer.
Do we wanna wait for the next meeting of our board to have them on an agenda to give us an update as to where things stand, or do we wanna schedule
Would-
an
would-
emergency
I
meeting?
would like to have an emergency meeting, because we have winter coming in, and the thing that I'm worried about, everybody knows, New England, winters are unpredictable. I mean, you put 2 feet of snow load on top of that roof, guess what's gonna happen?
It's going.
It's gonna go, I personally would like to see that building down
With that hole, you won't get any
within the
snow
next
out.
3 weeks.
So,
And I believe there is a process, I'm not sure what the process is, I think our building commissioner is familiar with that, that's his forte.
I'm pulling up the calendar, do you have any dates in mind?
Well, our next meeting is scheduled for December 14th, Thursday the 14th.
So that's a month out.
So that's a month out. Can we move it up to the,
Oh, I'm thinking like next week.
I'm fine with
I'd like to do
you
it.
guys,
I mean, we need 48 hours to post. It's an emergency
So
meeting.
we're closed Thursday and Friday, obviously.
Okay,
Will you be in on Wednesday?
maybe Tuesday?
I will.
We could do Tuesday.
this coming Tuesday?
Yeah, it'll be the 21st.
So I'll make a motion that we schedule an emergency meeting on Tuesday, the 21st at 6 PM to request the presence of the town manager to provide an update on the status of that property in question.
So we'll have one agenda item, that would be the purpose for
If you want the
the,
building guy.
Can we have the commissioner?
It would be up to, I mean, we could leave it up to the town manager to decide who he needs to bring with him.
right.
Well, I think, I mean, if
Unless we
our
want-
attorney is Jeff Capera, we should have him there too. I mean, we may want to, I don't know if we want to do this open session or executive session, but I'm not sure what we need to do with that one, but I think that all of the people need to be in the same place at the same time so we can get this done soon.
Okay, so minimum of the town manager and
Whoever else we need to have.
others at his discretion.
And guest
i.e.
or whatever,
building inspector.
right?
Yeah, I mean, if he's prepared to, if he wants to be prepared to answer questions about this,
Mhm.
he'll bring what he needs.
All right.
Yeah.
So I just have a question to other members. I know you stated 6 o'clock, it's Tuesday, holiday week. Can anybody make it earlier? I hate to see the TM go home to
I can
come
do
back.
earlier, that's
I mean,
fine.
can
That's
anybody,
fine.
can
What,
everybody do
earlier during the
earlier?
day?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just, I mean, Marissa, she wouldn't have to come back, Dan, you
That's
know.
fine.
Oh, no, that's totally open to
I
the,
mean,
to
does
the
anybody have a
board.
problem?
Wanna do it at 3?
Well,
I
just
don't know
a-
if anybody,
Just-
I
oh,
can
I
make
wouldn't have a
whatever.
problem.
Kevin, just a point of order, does somebody want to second my motion and then we can,
I'll second it.
okay, then we can
All right.
change it in discussion?
Yeah.
All right.
You wanna do it at 3?
I can do
Okay.
3 if
That works for me.
everybody,
Three's
I
good.
mean,
3?
3 town employees are gonna be here anyways, I just hate to,
That's fine with me.
you know, we'll try to accommodate everybody,
Yeah.
so Tuesday at 3.
That would be
Works for
fine.
me.
That works.
So we have a first and a second, Dan Grabowski.
Yes.
Gus Steves.
Yep.
Kevin Spillane.
Yes.
Nick Dado.
Yes.
An emergency meeting scheduled for Tuesday, November 21st at 3 PM. To invite the town manager and others at his discretion.
Thank you.
At this time, I would like to stop the, our regular meeting to have a 6:05, public hearing with the Elm Street Congressional Church, a request for a fee waiver. It is now 6:16.
Okay.
Sorry to have to hold you,
That's all right.
hold you up a little bit.
Okay, I'm here as president of Women's Fellowship of Elm Street Congregational Church, and I would like to request a waiver or partial waiver of the fee for our food service license. Well, anyway, I don't know if you all have this paper or not. That, oh, yes, sure.
Use this one, Steve. Do you need this one?
I'll make a motion that we accept the request for a waiver of half of the fee, decreasing it to $100, just as the board did last year.
A second.
Dan Grabowski.
Yes.
Hold on,
Gus-
hold on, I have a question.
Oh,
Sorry.
Dan, so what's our standard policy been for nonprofits and churches as far as waivers of this kind of thing?
What I've seen in my experience, that they've been reduced.
Yeah.
According to the Southbridge Board of Health fee schedule, we don't have anything lined up for nonprofit.
Nonprofits,
We don't.
we don't, which most municipalities do.
So maybe we want to
Definitely.
take a look
So
at that and
something
consider
to-
it seven. Yeah,
That's all I can.
okay.
Anyone else? Dan Grabowski?
Yes.
Gus Steves?
Yep.
Nick Dado?
Yes.
Kevin Spillane?
Yes,
Thank you. Motion passes.
all set.
Okay,
Is that it?
then the fee would be 100 instead of 200?
Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. And that's all I have to do?
That's it.
Okay,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming
thank
in.
you.
Have a good evening.
Take
Take
care.
care.
What did he say?
Thank you, guys.
Oh, okay.
My wife tells me that all the time, it's ready for me to just get out.
She's a smart lady.
Very good.
It's 6:19 and this hearing is over, and we're back to our regular Board of Health meeting.
That was fast.
Agenda, light update, C, 30 Mill Street.
30 Mill Street, the walkthrough of the interior, the inspection assessment has been completed by the building inspector and the fire department. That was done a couple weeks ago.
What did we find, anything good?
Well, a lot,
Yeah, right?
but they managed to go through the building safely. Obviously, there's many concerns.
Yeah.
but that has been completed.
Having thumbed through the report, I can imagine there's more now.
Right, right. What I do know is deterioration still continues. There was a wall that had collapsed, et cetera, so that's still ongoing. The fence is still erected, intact, which is good.
Any updates on where it stands as far as bankruptcy court?
Excuse me?
Any updates on where it stands as far as bankruptcy court?
I've not heard anything, no.
Is Rob handling that?
I believe so.
I just like to say, I'm happy to see that building finally fully secured as far as safety of our first responders. If something should happen in that building, it just makes me think back to the Worcester warehouse fire.
Sure.
And, you know, now that it's gone through and we know that it's
Sure.
vacant, secured,
Yeah.
I'm pleased that all departments that were involved in that process. Thank you.
Agenda item number 6, old business.
I have a question, I don't know if it falls under old business, but we got an email from Marissa, a couple weeks ago in regards to another,
That's old business.
another, tobacco violation on a business on Hamilton Street. Do we get updates on that as far as, it hasn't come forward to us yet, but I know it's been over a month since we got that email from you as far as the violation. Like, if the company comes in and decides to pay the fine, that just stops everything there?
It
or-
does,
Okay.
it sure does.
Is that-
And they did pay it.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
sorry.
that the place I was talking to you about at one point in the office? About-
Hamilton Street,
Yeah.
possibly.
Flatiron.
Yep, Flatiron
So it
building,
just
yep.
stops it at that point, okay.
Yep.
Oh, and I have another old business thing, I guess. I've been keeping tabs on what's going on with the Conservation Commission and the flooding issues over in Worcester Street. At the moment, they are in the process of finding a forester to get some costs and some clarity on what they actually need to do to get rid of basically the wood fall dam that's causing the flooding. At the moment, it's not really a health department issue because it's not flooding. But I thought we should keep it on the radar screen just to make sure in case it does, in case for some reason they have an issue with getting it removed or the neighbors fight over it or whatever it is, that we have it on our radar screen so that if it does become a flooding issue again, we can take action. Because I know at that point it becomes our real work. At the moment, it's still Concom's work, but I just thought I'd mention that.
Okay. Agenda item number 7, new business. Mr. Shea?
I come to tonight's meeting, who handles beavers?
We do.
Woodstock Road, I got a complaint, actually a couple complaints. There's a pond on the right-hand side, a little pond or something, as you go right in the gully type thing on Woodstock Road, I forget the number.
You mean Morse Pond?
No, way before that. Way before that. You go past Ashland Ave and it's up the road a little bit, we're this way and there's a pond, a little
Over there.
stream.
On the right-hand side, I
On
know,
the
right before you go
right-hand
up that second little small hill.
Right, and it's been a continuing problem, and I believe DBW has been doing some of it, but it seems like these people are more concerned now that winter's coming and they flood out and it ends up, and they would like it to be looked at if it could be taken care of.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't now beaver trapping time?
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
right around.
I don't know when their deadline is, I want to say it's like the beginning of the year.
So this is town owned.
I don't know, I know DPW goes up there and cleans the culvert out, because what happens, it floods culvert, they block up a culvert, and it's the town's culvert. And it's been an ongoing issue, and I guess the DPW hadn't gone up there in a while, I guess, and they're concerned with winter coming, icing and that kind of stuff. And with all the high rains this past, and the people just feel that we as a town aren't helping the situation by not doing it. So I told them I would bring it there, and you know what I'm talking about, I don't remember
I know
the
exactly.
address.
I know what you're talking about, tell by the Woodstock Road, I know. what
Could
you're
you
talking-
show me exactly? I could go up there.
Yeah.
Do an inspection and
Yeah.
I'm on
assessment,
Google
you know,
Maps now.
to start the process.
Can you point out where
Yeah, so if you walk, oh, sorry guys.
This is not Dick's
There's
house.
gotta be a number, I know.
And Carwet, I think.
I know Dick lives on
No,
250.
it's 281.
It's around,
Right, but it's right around in that
it's
area,
around
right?
300 block.
Right, there's like a little
You don't need to do that.
pond, it's a little puddle of a pond, but it's a pond.
This has been an ongoing issue with the DPW, I guess, the DPW.
It used to be the Ferguson property, I don't know who owns it
Yeah, I don't
now.
know who owns it now,
Because
but
it's a barn.
Is there a number
There's
there?
no what's
Yeah, we're gonna do it right.
they cleaned the culvert out today and it's plugged back up tomorrow.
Yeah, he's,
So it's a matter of getting rid of the beavers. Told the guy to shoot them, but they've been so
no,
long.
you can't, you shoot one of those, you're gone.
Come back down some. It's
we
before,
can
it's
issue a
before
10-day
Sawyer's
emergency.
Path. so it's up here, right.
Or even look at it as a
And
public
it's not
health
even so
nuisance.
much the property owner, it's the neighbors that are concerned with the flooding, because the last rain we had, I guess the road flooded, and it creates a hazard with cars at night.
So whatever number this is.
So it adversely affects the road, if the conditions there, okay.
Yeah, because the culvert is plugged, and the water overflows to the road.
No, that's understood.
What's the number?
But that's the number.
So, if you could just look at that, and
Yeah, it's before Sawyer's Path.
It's
Correct.
across from 760, across from 266.
it's in the, right around the.
Across from 266, it's.
Woodstock Road?
Yeah,
North
North
Woodstock.
Woodstock,
North
North
260,
Woodstock.
North
Yeah.
Woodstock Road.
And the pond drains through the
It
culvert,
goes through,
Yeah.
across the street.
Okay.
Yep.
and I think it's been more of an issue this year because of the amount of
Amount of
rain
rain.
that we've had.
Mm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Number 8, chairman's announcements. I would just like to take a couple of moments to thank all the people who showed up for our holiday visions to make Main Street the way it is in the Common. I'd like to thank board members Jasmine Quinones and Gus Steves. I mean, for their help. Gus has been part of the program as long as I have, so he's a regular. And so, Anne Marine, of course, and all the other people who volunteered, and that includes Denise Clemens, who puts in the hundreds of hours just to set this up, because it's not just the stuff that we put out and fix, but it's also the people that, you know, you just get the people, just to organize the parade and get vendors, and there's tons of time that go into it. And last year we had 35 floats and trucks, and this year we're expected to have more. So the tree lighting starts at 6, but the parade starts at 5 p.m. on November 25th.
Who's the greatest?
It starts at the Southbridge Conference Center, and it spins around. It goes up through Main Street,
Okay.
up Central Street, then it spins around Main Street and right to the Common, and that's where it ends. It takes a while because of all the people involved. It takes like maybe 40, 45 minutes just to get everyone involved in it, because you have to, you know, wave people in, and you just don't start the parade. You probably need a mile or so. So that's a good thing. And of course, the firemen have their truck, and I blow the horns and stuff like that. And wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you too.
Very kind.
Number 9, health director's announcements.
Well, I am pleased to announce that a job offer has been made to an individual for the inspector position. That is contingent upon the background drug screening, the physical, and the signing of paperwork, which I understand is being done this week.
Okay.
And I'll keep the board abreast, but we're very pleased, and we're highly anticipating the individual to come on board. And so it's been about a couple weeks, I would say, a waiting game. Could be a couple more, but we've eventually found the suitable candidate, and certainly we do need the help.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that'd be good. Yes.
Great.
Can I ask a
That's
related
awesome.
question?
Yeah.
So where do things stand as far as Mike Julian formally becoming a building commissioner?
I cannot speak on that as of yet. I don't know where it is.
Because I know he was going through the process, but it's
I can tell you that the process is still going, whether it has been completed or is getting close to completion. That is something that, I know the building, inspector, and hopefully soon to be a commissioner, has discussed in great detail with the town manager and HR.
Mhm.
Okay, is that it? Okay. Agenda item number 10, board members' announcements. Anybody have any? Gus?
Okay, just a couple of quick ones. First of all, is that I just wanted to mention that I was talking to Helen Boyle a couple of days ago about the fact that the historical commission is working on their demolition delay bylaw. And so she said that they're basically gonna try to start renovating it so that it can, actually something happens, because it's been in limbo for a really long time now. So I know she was kind of upset about this, it's sitting there forever, but I figure at some point that might affect us at some point. I don't exactly quite know how, but I just thought we should know about that. The other issue I wanted to bring up is that I sat in on a disaster response webinar from MMA last week. It was specifically over kind of an overview of MEMA and FEMA and their requirements, and it was mostly technical stuff, to be honest with you. But some of it I thought was kind of interesting. I can probably forward over some of the details to you if you want. And it was, I don't know if you have a chance, but if you've seen them, MMA actually emails all the connections to all of these kinds of things if you're interested in participating in them, and you get into their signing list. I've kind of been on it since I was on the council, so they can be useful if you're interested in them. There's one more thing I wanted to mention. Oh, and also it's not quite related to us, but there is a Southbridge Legislative Planning Zoom meeting on the 21st that I'm involved in. I don't know if some of the rest of you are involved in it. It's something that Jasmine Ravis is coordinating, so. And I think part of that is to bring some of the issues that our town needs to the legislature's attention, so. I don't know if you have any ideas, I'm participating, if you have any ideas, let me know and I can bring them up.
Kevin?
A few things, if I may. First, I just want to thank the town manager for the progress and the actions that he's taken on the 554 South Street property. They started that yesterday or the day before, and it's looking pretty good. So I want to thank him for that. The other thing I would like to do is, at our last meeting, I asked for a updated list of blighted properties. Our list was from April of 2023. I asked the town manager if we do some sort of spreadsheet. So I was just looking for that. The other thing I like to do is, a couple meetings ago, I handed out a list of around a dozen other properties that I felt that the board should be looking at as far as blighted properties. And I was wondering if we could, if the director wouldn't mind picking a couple of those properties, check them out, picking a couple where we could get back and do that site visit that we've done in the past and
That list, they were visited. They require revisits, yes. And I think it would be good for a concerted effort to take place, such as we did before, where we did site visits, not only with the Board of Health, but counselors, perhaps town managers, and others to look at. Because many from that list have been sitting in that condition idle
for a long time.
for a long time. Agreed.
So I was wondering if we could, it doesn't have to be tonight, but, maybe if you pick one or two of the properties and send an email out, and we can kind of get a ballpark who's available to visit, whatever properties you deem we should look at that time. I mean, there is a few that I've noticed that have been vacant for some time and just.
Well, share
sitting
those
there.
again with me. Agreed, they have been vacant.
The
deterioration.
The Vienna's one of them. I mean, that's an eyesore right there, right on Main Street. The Vienna restaurant, right by the Wells.
Right across from Wells.
Main and
Fork in the
South.
road,
The
top of the hill.
Main and South.
South Street,
Okay, South Street,
beginning
sure.
of South Street, and yeah.
Vienna, that's
It's
what
the
I-
Vienna restaurant.
Vienna.
That's what we know.
Oh,
It's where
okay.
the ambulance crashed
Yeah,
into.
where the ambulance hit right by the Felix statue.
Oh,
that
good,
building
an
right-
ambulance. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
So I was wondering, if we pick one or two, I know there's one on Litchfield, and I think it's Beecher, has been
Sure,
vacant for
sure.
years, if we can do that.
Yeah, we would like to continue those. I think they were really advantageous, for many things. It's just the days are getting shorter to people's schedules, When we did them in the spring and summer, it was
Yeah,
easy,
it was
right?
nice.
Right.
It was warm, too.
So it was warm too, right? But yeah, we've after reviewing the number of visits, we thought it's a great thing to have it instituted, this process, the entire year. Pick some,
Oh,
and
there's
we can't
progress.
get
There's
to
progress.
all of them, but certainly prioritize some or just go down the list. As you can see, it really was beneficial for Cross Street when that visit.
Yes.
And Brick Row, we did South Street, and again, these are the ones that are moving ahead.
Right, it definitely benefited, because now we're seeing progress.
Progress,
That's,
yeah.
been sitting stagnant for quite some time. I just want to try to keep that process going if we
Yep,
can.
agreed. Sure.
Reason being, once you get a view of what it looks like, you get a full picture, because you were there in the present, then when you're talking about, remember that one, and so now, instead of just looking off a piece of paper, it's another piece of property, you know what I mean? Because that's pretty much, the way people look at things, just, it's another building, but don't look at, it's about, like 20 Brick Row, but, that's a good point.
The only other thing I wanted to bring up, and I know it's been done in the past, I believe Council Adams has done it in the past, is, can we, that list of blighted properties we have, can we just put it on the town's webpage?
Brought it up at the last
To,
meeting.
like the scarlet letter type thing,
Yep.
and
I proposed that at the last
did
meeting.
you? I thought I heard it from, and I agree with that.
It's all legal, it's all
Public's got a right to
public
know.
record.
Maybe it'll push the homeowner to
Public record.
do something about their property, I don't know. I mean,
These tactics have been done by different municipalities, addressing many of different concerns from violations to restaurants, to blighted properties,
think
to chronic nuisances.
If you look at the town's website, there's a blighted list there, but it hasn't been updated since
That's what I mean.
2019 or
Yeah.
2020.
That's what I mean, it hasn't, and that's why I said, I think Councilor Adams was the one who kinda did that, but it hasn't been updated in,
Do you have,
I think before COVID, pre-COVID.
Dan, do you have access to updating the Board of Health
We do.
website? I
Yeah,
mean,
we
if-
do,
if
we do.
blighted properties come under our authority, perhaps
Okay.
we could have. them
Again, we could do that,
I'll
post
update
it.
it.
update it with the list, that we have. And what we're, again, just to reiterate, we're channeling our energy. This list has, that I elected has been sitting idle,
Yeah.
Yes,
okay? And right now, I think it's imperative that we address the high priority cases and issues, which I've deemed 20 Brick Row, Cross Street, and South Street. And of course, Mill Street, that's it. But those are the ones that we'd like to see.
I think including some notes on the list, if we're gonna post it on the website, including some pertinent notes, that, last time it was discussed at a meeting, last time we had a site visit, whatever the actions are that are in public record. So if the public does pull it up, it's not just another property on the list, they can actually see what, if
That's what I
anything, is
mean.
being done about it.
Right. That makes sense.
A
George?
lot of people, and I don't know you guys, they talk about blighted property, and they get confused with tax taking property.
Right, that's true.
Because the list for tax taking property is like 4 pages long. There's hundreds of properties
Yeah.
that owe taxes and those kind of things, so a lot of the public base their discussions of blighted property as that tax taking property.
So
Some
maybe
of those tax
discussion.
taking properties are probably blighted and should be taken care of, and it hasn't been declared blighted property by the community. But I find myself, people asking me about particular property, it's because they owe taxes. The guy was all concerned about an National Land property that supposedly owes $750,000 in back taxes. So, but they say, geez, I don't, a blighted property has not been updated. Well, it's not blighted property.
Right.
no, it's not.
So
So
people
maybe
get
we should put a
confused.
little description as far as
No.
what blighted
put the property owner, if it's been taken on tax title, we know who owns it.
Right.
That's what I mean.
And then we're
Li-
holding,
list
we're
it
holding
with the
private
owners
property
saying-
owners accountable for their blighted properties, we
And-
ought to
and-
hold the town
And
accountable
the
as
paper that
well.
I'm talking about too is town-owned property too.
Yeah,
These are,
right.
there's multiple properties that we pay insurance for and send DPW to take care of and those kind of things, and there's more than the ones you have.
Until the
so-
first of the year when the treasurer is in.
Right. That's gonna be one of the priorities, is be able to tax title and
Sure.
auction.
Yes. I can say that this could be a feasible project this winter. We can work on that. But I do like the idea of having those visits continue.
So maybe considering the time change, it's dark at 4:30, it's cold, maybe if we'll leave the discretion to you to pick one or two properties, send out the email, say, hey, I think
Whoever
X,
can
Y,
make
and
it.
Z, then we can drive by on our own time. And, you know, take a look on our own time at that point,
Fair
maybe.
I can't speak for everybody else, my schedule is flexible.
Yeah,
If
mine
I'm,
is
if I'm,
too.
if I'm in town,
Yeah.
I can make a daytime
But I
or
mean, at least
afternoon
if
meeting.
you can't make it, at least you have the address, you can go on your own time,
Right.
and, you know, I think the visual totally changes the aspect of,
Right.
I mean, the Cross Street one, all right, it's got some trash right, you get there and it was like, oh.
Yeah. Derelict is not the word.
Right.
Speaking of that, do we want to do a site visit on the beaver issue?
On the what?
The
Beavers.
beaver issue that George is bringing up. I called it up, I think it's 265 Northwood.
Right, it's near the 300.
You said across from 266?
Yeah, what I'm calling up, I think it's 265, it would be Jason and Maritza Kelly that owns it. If
Does it
it's
show a picture of it?
Yeah, it does. Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it, okay.
Is it around Dick Howard's property too? Yeah, it's all in that general.
Dick lives like one or two houses from
Yeah,
me.
he's not too far from.
That's the actual 265.
Mr. Chair, I would entrust Dan to handle an initial visit there, and, you know, if you have any question of direction to take for, you know, perhaps scheduling a site visit for us, if you feel that it's necessary.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, agenda item number 11, schedule next meeting. That would be December.
November 21st.
21st.
December.
That's our regular
The
schedule
emergency.
meeting.
Right, the regular one's gonna be when?
It's gonna be, December 14th, Thursday, 6 PM.
What is that?
December 14th.
December 14th, Thursday, 6 PM.
I'll be away, but that's fine.
All right.
And then we still have the one on Tuesday, the
Right,
21st at 3 o'clock.
that was an emergency, our regular schedule meeting will be the 14th.
Motion to adjourn.
Nick Dado,
Yes.
Gus Steves, Dan Grabowski.
Yes.
Kevin Spling.
Yes.
Thank you.